Hello, and welcome to the Highlight Reel. I'm Tracy Clark, the Executive Director for the Louisa County Chamber of Commerce. And I'm very excited today to introduce you to Jennifer Lehman of Hantzmon Wiebel. She is the Managing Partner and CEO, and I'm just thrilled to learn more about your organization. And why don't we get started, Jennifer, right away with tell us a little bit about the business, the company, your mission, something about your values, things like that.
Sure thing. So first of all, thank you for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to share. So Hantzmon Wiebel is a public accounting and advisory service firm that's been in place since 1928. So, we're marching forward to that 100-year mark. So we provide tax, accounting, and advisory services to local businesses, nonprofits, and individuals, and have been doing so for a very long time. I have not been here since 1928, just making sure we know that. So a lot of times I think that people really understand what's taxation or what's tax. And most people understand what accounting and auditing services look like. So that would incorporate reviews, compilations of financial statements, a lot of times that you need for loan covenants or things like that. But advisory services is pretty broad. So what do we do in advisory services? So it's growing and changing all the time. So traditional types of advisory services are things like merger and acquisitions, due diligence, business valuations, but more of the more contemporary services are data analytics. We do profitability workshops with companies and organizations, planning, financial forecasting, those types of things. So really a broad array of services to a broad array of organizations. Yeah. I do think it's important that we say what we don't do sometimes, because I think that if you're a business, you don't want to go running in all kinds of directions and not know. So there's a couple things we don't do. And we don't work with publicly traded companies. Now, if we look at what our area looks like, there's not a ton of publicly traded companies in our area anyways. So we don't do publicly traded companies. And we also don't do work with banks and banks and savings and loans organizations. So that's important to know, but we have lots of referral sources for those types of services. I think another thing that's really important to share with everybody who is local here is that we have connections that are international. So we participate nationally and internationally with a group called Lineal Global, which means that if you're starting a business that may have a location internationally, we can help serve that organization as well. So it's not just who is in Charlottesville, Louisa, Fluvanna, Madison. It is, we can go far beyond that, both nationally and internationally. That's a lot of words, Tracy. What else do you want to know?
That is so interesting. I mean, we've worked together. You guys have been very supportive with our nonprofit summit and some of the nonprofit work that we've done. And then, oh gosh, we had Chris as part of our breakfast, was just a wealth of information, very helpful. But I had no idea the scope working nationally and internationally, and particularly with Louisa. Businesses that do national and international work. So that's really interesting. And also about the not working with publicly traded. I think that's a really good information to share. So businesses don't spend their time, beating the streets with small businesses, as they need to where they need to be. So that's great. So you've shared a little bit about, your services and so forth. What would an experience be like? How would a small business or a nonprofit, what's the initial steps that they would take in terms of interviewing, for lack of a better word, your company as a possible, partner to work with?
So I think that our website is a great resource about where the different, I'm going to call it nooks and crannies of what we do, can be located to go, okay, what is it that we can make a connection on? So the website's great, which is hwllp.cpa. And I invite you all to visit there. But we, before I even get to how do you interview, we have a team of just at 100 employees. So with 100 people specializing in all of these areas, we're still we're still a small business. We're still very much, we have the capability to have personal one-on-one relationships with the business owners, but we also are large enough to have great teams to service the areas. So if you're using the website as a resource to identify what area that you need, that the team leads are identified on the website as well. And so really it is a reach out with a call or an email or a direct message post. And so we participate in all social media just like everybody else does. So there's all kinds of opportunities to reach out. The other thing that we try our best to do now, in a COVID environment, which hopefully we will be out of it. Hopefully when you're viewing this, we will be out of it. We like to be present. We like to be present where our clients and our businesses are. So if it is, you mentioned the nonprofit summit, it is, we want to be there working side by side with those clients that need our services. So look for us to be present too, especially when we get outside of COVID.
Oh, that's great. So if I am a business or a nonprofit, is there kind of a free consultation or anything like that to, make sure we're a good fit? Is that part of your process?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it's good fit is a great terminology because, sometimes there are just going to be things that we're not the best resource for. But I think what we do bring to the table, even when we're not the best resource, is our network of connections to then place you with the best resource if it's not us. So we absolutely do phone conversations, Teams meetings, et cetera, so that we can get to know what the needs are and then what it would look like for us to help serve those needs.
Oh, wow. That is great. Well, is there anything that perhaps I haven't asked you yet that you want to share and make sure to tell folks about what you guys do? That maybe.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about just like the business service. I think it's really important to understand where we are when it comes to our commitment to our community. We are one of those companies that we allocate time to each one of our team members to give back to the community, to serve on boards, to participate in nonprofit activities. And that is really important to us. It's important for us to share that with you today, is that, and I mentioned being present, it's being present in our community and participating. So I would like to kind of add that in. Yeah. It's not all about the business side. It's about us being good citizens together.
Yeah, and that is wonderful. And you are certainly, I just want to say thank you for the support and collaboration that you do provide to the chamber. I just want to remind everybody that Hantzmon Wiebel is a chamber member serving the Louisa County area. You can find their contact information in case you missed it. You can go to louisachamber.org under community info and find a business, and you can find contact information there, their website. We're so thrilled to learn a little bit more about your business, Jennifer. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. And with that, I'm just going to wish you a good day, and we'll sign off here.
Thanks so much, Tracy. Have a great day.
You too.